All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. I gotta get TikTok set up here. Welcome in, everybody. Gonna go live, show you guys what sold yesterday. Should be a pretty quick, easy shipping live because yesterday I was stuck out here doing some listings most of the day, and whatever sold, I was pretty much packing up and shipping out before the mailman came. So, a bunch of the orders I typically would have on a morning live, I've already packed up and shipped out. So, to just cover all the plumbing issues while you guys are all coming in, plumbing issues are fixed. Yesterday was a very, very eventful day. Plumbers thought, even though they ripped everything up, that it was actually the city issue. We called the city out. City said, nope, it's plumbing issue. So then eventually the plumbers fixed the issue. But we got it all fixed. Luckily, everything's good. I just have to wait for a inspector to come by, make sure it's all good for them to cover up the hole, and then basically we're done after that. So I was out here basically till like 5 yesterday because the plumbers were in and out of the house. And I was just doing some listings and getting all that work done. So I'm exhausted. Yesterday was a stressful day. And then at the end of the day, after all said and done, we had to take Joey to the doctor, to the hospital, to urgent care, because he hasn't gone number two in like 4 days for some reason. We don't know why. So he's at the main pediatrician today. So after all said and done, after all that happened, then Joey had his issue. So hopefully we get that fixed today too. Hopefully he does the number two and then we'll be good to go. But that's what we had to deal with. What's up, Patrick? What's up, Lily? Welcome in. So I'm a little tired. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm stressed, but good thing is we have a Whatnot show tonight, so we're gonna do a kids show. So if you're interested in kids stuff, make sure you come out, bookmark the show. We're probably do like $5 starts on that show. We don't really expect kids items to go crazy. And then Saturday we have another big show. So what's up? One house. But yeah, come hang out. That's like the ordeal. I know people are gonna ask, so I figure I just cover in the beginning from yesterday. Stressed, but you missed the post office yet? Absolutely not. No. I talked to the post office people, my new post office people now that deliver to me, and I get to hear all their stories now. So, what's up, Melissa? Welcome in. I'm glad to see my chats are both working over on YouTube and Facebook this morning. I got my coffee this morning. I'm starting to wake up a little bit. So, how's Joey handling the move? He likes it. He likes the new house. He loves it because he has so much to do here compared to the old house. On Monday, he starts his new school, which is like literally 15 steps down the street is where the school actually is. So it's perfect spot. So he's excited about that. So I don't really know if his issue is maybe he's getting a little nervous and that's why he's having issues. But we're gonna figure it out today, get that all done. So what's up, Erilyn? How's it going, Wayne? I think you already explained it though. Yes, it's going. It's going. It's going. Hopefully today's a much better day than it was yesterday because yesterday was so stressful. All the behind the scenes stuff. I had so much I wanted to post. I had 2 meetings yesterday with 2 potential affiliates that I'm gonna push. That's gonna be really good for you guys. But I had like meetings in the middle of the day, and then that was doing like everything was just going on yesterday. By the end of the day, I was just so wiped. I was so tired. It's like moving up to the east side. You finally got a big piece of the pie. Feels nice. Feels nice. When a posher likes Nifty sends an offer, then they put their bundle. What do you do with that? So I actually have Nifty send out bundle offers for me instead of regular offers. Nifty sends out bundle offers, and that's a setting you can do within Nifty. So basically, if 10 people like the same, or one person like 10 items, right? Nifty will actually put all those items in a bundle for you, and then send out an offer, and that way you don't have to give discounted shipping either. If you send an offer right to the singular item, you have to send some kind of discounted shipping. Whereas if you bundle the item, you don't have to, and that's why I have Nifty do that. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. We only have 7 items, technically 8 items to ship. One of them is a bundle sale. Had a bunch of Ralph Lauren. If you saw my post yesterday, sold a bunch of Ralph Lauren yesterday. I sold a couple more pieces even after I made that post, so you guys will see that here, but no Poshmark, no Depop. I think I had a Posh and a Depop order yesterday, but I actually shipped it before the mailman came because I was already out here working. So whenever I got an order in, I just pretty much shipped it out. Usually I don't do that, but yesterday I was already out here, so I might as well. Any tips on finding the stupid strips of clear to get them to stay in the trash? Nicole, that is, I think every single person who is in this live that sells clothing knows exactly what you're talking about. These stupid things. I actually just pile them on my desk. I don't have a trash can out here yet. We're gonna go buy a trash can probably next week. It's something that we have to do. But these things, I just throw them on my desk, or I have a second desk over here. I just kind of lay them on there, and they all kind of pile up together. And then when I'm done, I just grab them all, throw them out. But yes, they stick to everything. They're like static. So anytime they're your hands, even this one, like I just grabbed it and it's like sticking to my hand. You can see it. It's like sticking. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, there's no way to get it to stop either. What's up, Leisha? Welcome in. I've never received an order from a like. I've never received an order from a like slash offer. Weird on Poshmark. You never received an order on a like slash offer. Like when you send out an offer, nobody's bought from you. That's weird. I get a lot of my sales from offers because usually if somebody likes an item, if you give them a little bit of a discount, they're going to accept the offer. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. That's typical. That's typical buyer behavior. My cats love those. Yeah. Good morning. Having any issues with Nifty bundling items? Having issues with Nifty bundling items. Any tips? Items came to over £5 and too cheap. Customer did not buy. Wait, any items came to over £5 and too cheap. Customer did not buy. So was it too expensive for you to ship? Is what you're saying, Bobby? Like you had to buy a bigger label, or the customer just wouldn't buy because the discount wasn't big enough. I'm not really sure I'm following you. Love my rack spot too. Yes, these racks behind me, those are nice. I also, if you see, I've actually cleaned out the space. I got to throw out this TV. That's why that TV's back there. During the move, we actually broke that TV, so we had to buy a new one. It just happens. But I finally cleared out the space. I got all the consignment on the left-hand side. And now I'm going to build the second rack. So I have not only this rolling rack right here, but I also have a second one I have to build. And that's going to be specifically for Whatnot shows. I love these racks. They're super easy to push around. I actually have a third one that I'm storing all my jacket and suit inventory. That's what you see right there. So I'm excited about those rolling racks. And then, yeah, got these racks over here. I think I have some linked in my link tree too. They're similar. They're not exactly the same. Everybody wants these 6 unit shelves. They're actually 5 unit shelves, 5 rack shelves, but I had bought 3 of them and I didn't need the third one because I already had these 2 shelves too. So basically what I did was I took a shelf off, two shelves off of one of the racks, put it on here. So now that rack is basically useless because it only has 3 racks on it, right? Yeah, 3 racks. So I don't use that rack anymore. That's how I got that 6 unit rack. You look like rugged handsome. You look ruggedly handsome with the beard. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Thanks, Patrick. Too heavy. I did not want to buy a label, and the items came up way too cheap. Any tips on how to set up bundles on Nifty? That's not a Nifty issue, Bobby. That's if your items are too cheap and somebody wants to buy a bunch of them, and your label's going to be too expensive. That's not going to be a Nifty issue. That buyer is going to bundle. Like Nifty is not the only thing that bundles. A buyer can bundle as well. So if the buyer sees you have like 15 items really cheap and they want to come in and buy them, but as soon as they put them in the bundle, it's too expensive. The only thing you can really do is message the buyer on the bundle and say, hey, I can only put 7 items in a bundle because of shipping restrictions on Poshmark, or just say something similar to that. And just let them know, like, you can't put any more in there. But yeah, Nifty is going to bundle as much as it wants to, or as much as the buyer likes, because the buyer's going to bundle it anyway. So yeah, if you give a deep discount, you have to message the buyer and just let them know, limit to the bundle is 7 units, or limit to the bundle is this because I'm giving you a big discount and I don't want to have to purchase a larger label. Or just say something like Poshmark restricts us to £5 per order. So I can only give you a £5 box. Otherwise, it costs me more money. You have to do something like that. But that's not a Nifty issue. That's a Poshmark issue. It's not really an issue either. It's just you gave too deep of a discount to be able to bundle all those items together. So maybe not give that much of a discount and tell the buyers, hey, you're getting a really good deal because you're getting all of this for one flat fee. So yeah, it wouldn't be a Nifty issue. It wouldn't be a Nifty issue. Yeah, air conditioning in the garage? No, but it's starting to get cool out. So I'm not probably going to invest in air conditioning until it starts getting warm out again, which will be like April of next year. It's still hot during the day, but like right now it's like perfect temperature. Like I'm not going to sweat out here. It's like perfect temperature. All right, let's start out with a suit sale. You're actually going to start selling these pretty frequently now because we're starting to get in the holiday season. People are buying suits. There's like a couple times of the year that people start buying suits, like prom season, homecoming is like where you get a lot of suit sales. And then around the holidays, people buy suits because they go to fancy dinners and stuff, and their other suit has a hole in it, so they need to buy a new one, and that's where you're gonna get more sales. So this is a Brooks Brothers. This is a cashmere blazer. I only paid $5 for this. It's more of like a bread and butter blazer. Wool and cashmere blend. I think it has like 10% cashmere in it. Sold for 28 bucks. You're not going to get a huge money for these, but it's more like a bread and butter sale. 28 bucks for this one. This one is going to go Ground Advantage. I have a question that will, some will think is silly, but for eBay, what do you put for the measurements if using a poly mailer envelope? It's not a silly question, actually. It's a legitimate question because poly mailers vary in size, and this is what I'll tell you. I'll say this, and some people might not agree with it, but the post office doesn't really care what your size poly mailer is as long as you get it close. And the reason is because this suit right now is 9 by 12 by probably 4. And as it goes down the conveyor belt and it gets squished between other packages, now it's a different size. So as soon as I squish this, it's a different size. If I squish it this way, it's a different size. There's no way to accurately measure these because as they're going down and as they get squished in transit, they're going to morph into different sizes, especially clothing. So as long as you get it close, they're not going to care. They're not going to send it back. So what I usually do is for these kind of packages, this one is probably now 9 by 11 by 2 or 3 inches, maybe 4 inches. So I usually do 9 by 11 by 2, put that in. I've never had an issue. I've never had a package come back with those measurements because it is basically what it is. But again, if you squish it, if you fold this in half this way, if it's like a shirt folded in half, it's going to be a completely different measurement as it's going down the conveyor belt. And the post office is not going to sit there and flatten out each package as it's going down to verify that it's the right size. They're just going to say, okay, that looks like it's the right size. You're good to go. That's exactly why Pirate Ship only uses 2 dimensions for poly bags, because the third dimension doesn't really matter because it's always going to be different. So I hope that makes sense. As long as you're close, you're good to go. No worries with that. All right, that one's shipping out. I have about 55 Lululemon pieces. Are you interested in a bulk deal? Paula, you can hit me up. It really just depends on what kind of Lululemon you have. If you have like a lot of tank tops and stuff like that, to be honest, my offer is going to be super duper duper low because those pieces aren't selling right now. Hold on. Those pieces aren't going to sell for a while. I would have to move them on a Whatnot show, and I would have to move them super cheap. So if you're interested, you can hit me up. If you have like jackets and stuff like that, I would pay up for them a little bit because right now it's heading into the jacket season. That's what people want. But most of the time when somebody says, hey, I got a lot of Lululemon, it's usually shorts, tank tops, sports bras, things like that. And those, to be honest, have tanked in value. So it'd be a completely different offer depending on what you have. I do the same measurements. I never had issues. Yep, 9 by 11 by 2 is like what I pretty much use. What about shoes? How do you ship shoes? I put shoes in a box or a bag depending on what they are. If they are like sandals and stuff like that, they can go right in a bag. I know Ethan, he's a shoe seller. Ethan Banks, if you're not following him, give him a follow. He puts pretty much everything in poly bags nowadays, I think. And I don't think he has hardly any issues with shipping. I haven't heard of him say like, oh, I had an issue with I put something in a bag and the sole broke. Like if shoes can't withstand being in a bag and being rattled around, most likely they're going to be damaged on your foot when you're wearing them normal day, everyday use. So a shoe should be able to take in a bag, be tossed around in the post office and be perfectly fine. Do you have to reach out to companies for affiliation, or do companies reach out to you? Nowadays, Maria, because of the videos I put out, because of the traction they get, companies reach out to me. Have I ever reached out to a company? I don't think I've ever reached out to a company and said like, hey, I'd love to partner with. No, I have. I've reached out to one. I reached out to Rolo like back in the day because I really wanted to work with them, but they never reached back out to me. And there might be other reasons why they don't reach out to people like me. I'll just leave it at that. But if you look at Rolo's page, there's a very, very key. It's very known exactly who they want to work with, and I don't fit that model of person. I think eventually they'll change, but just go look at their page. You'll figure it out in like 5 seconds. But yeah, companies reach out to me. The one that I'm really excited about, so I'll tell you one. Depop reached out to me a couple days ago. They want me to make a video for them and basically just do my own type of video. Like it's going to be a sponsored video, but it's going to be like I get to make the video. I don't I don't have to work a script, which I hate working scripts because it's so, you guys will easily tell as soon as the video starts, like that's scripted. And I don't want to do that. So I told them that, and they're like, "Yep, cool. Do exactly what you do." And basically, I get paid to make a video, which is cool because I get paid to what I already was going to do anyway. So next step is to actually get a Depop sale, and I can make that video. I'm gonna have to tell Depop I gotta wait till I actually get a sale to make this video. So work with your customers and try to get them to actually pay for their items, and I'll make a video for you. And then there's another one, I can't say who it is yet, but it's going to be a really good, and you guys are going to benefit from this partnership. You guys are going to have a good benefit from it. That's another thing. Whenever I work with companies, I look to give you guys a good deal. Like, it's not just about me making money, it's about giving you guys a good deal too, and be like, hey, K-Way referred this program or this company or this so and so, and I actually made some money from it, or actually saved some money from it. So that's what I look for too. But yeah, they all reach out to me now. Do you have a W-9 business, LLC? I don't have an LLC yet. I probably should have got one, but with the move this year, I didn't work in getting one. But you could do everything sole proprietor. That's pretty much how I do everything now. eBay's slow for me the past couple days. Has it been for you? I wouldn't say slow. It's been average. I mean, I haven't been listing. I have like 30 something items in Nifty right now, and I only listed 10 yesterday with everything that's happened. Like, if you guys could just see, I should have filmed all of this that happened this week. It was so crazy. But I have 30 drafts ready to go in Nifty right now. So next week is going to be a busy week. Hopefully next week is back to normal. I just want one full normal week. That's all I'm asking for. And then everything will go back, and sales will start to pick up. But right now it's just, I got to get through every single day until we can get to the normalcy again. What's up, Sassy? When you promote your listing, do you promote at a percent? I promote at 9% right now. I'm actually going to drop that probably pretty soon to 7%. And then around Christmas, I'm probably going to drop it to 5%. But right now it's still 9%. I haven't dropped it yet. New to eBay, any advice and category to begin to resell? Whatever you enjoy selling or whatever you enjoy doing. Like, if you enjoy, like Bearded is somebody who loves to do Pokemon cards. If you love Pokemon cards, start with Pokemon cards. And then from there, when you explore your area around you, like thrift stores, garage sales, you'll kind of see what you can find more of. And that's what I would focus your time on, because whatever you can find more of in source, that's what you're going to do. So if it ends up being Pokemon cards, cool. If it ends up being clothing like I do, go for it. Like in my area, I have so much clothing. Before I did clothing, I didn't care about clothes. I wore the same shirts. You guys see, I wear like the same shirts like every day. I don't really care too much about brands. I do a little bit more now because now that I'm selling clothing. But before, I used to not care about what brand I was wearing or anything like that. But I slowly learned the brands, and I slowly learned this niche. But yeah, I didn't do it before this. So I didn't have like a clothing background before all this. I kind of learned it. North Face has a buyback program. It does have a buyback program. Yes, you have to send it in. But one thing with the buyback program with North Face is they cannot have flaws. If they have any sort of flaws or anything wrong with them, the North Face will not give you credit. And if you actually send it in and it has a flaw, they basically just take it from you and dispose of it. They don't give you any credit for it. So just make sure you read all the rules before you send it in. You can bring it into the store too, and then you can actually take your item back. But if you send it in, they just dispose of the item. They ask you no stains, no flaws, no defects, anything like that. And sales, they reach out to you. Yeah, they reach out. Appreciate you, Maria. Thanks for sharing. What's up, Chef? Welcome in. What's up? Welcome in. I like all the new faces that pop in every once in a while. What happened with your plumbing? Oh, I explained at the beginning. Basically, they fixed it. Yesterday was a whole ordeal. They were here from like 9 a.m. in the morning till 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. And right in the middle of getting it done, the plumbers were like, this is not a customer issue. This is actually a city issue. The city has to come out and fix this. I was like, well, if the city comes out and fixes this, then I'm going to get refunded for everything, because this was not I wouldn't have done anything if it was a city issue. Then the city came out. I had them come out immediately, and the city was like, nope, this is your issue. You have to get it done. And then they have to explain to the plumbers what part of the line is city line and what part of the line is my line. I'm like, look, dude, just fix my crap. Please just fix it. I just want it done. I just want this over with. And now there's still a hole on the side of my house because inspector has to come by and make sure all the plumbing is correct before they actually fill the hole back in. So right now there's a big hole. It actually looks like a big Halloween decoration, because it's got caution tape going all the way around it. Looks like somebody dug out like some tombstones underneath there. Like, it might work for Halloween. If they don't get it filled before then, I'll just put some tombstones around it and make it look like there's like a couple skeletons down in the bottom. I don't know what I'm gonna do. K-Way live. Who's this? Yes, K-Way is live. Pray for you never having one week again. Get out of here, Felix. Get out of here. I got lots of questions. Appreciate you guys asking questions. Keep them coming. Does any brand sell well on the apps or just major name brands? Does any brand sell well on the apps? If you watch some of my videos, you'll see the brands that sell well. My top selling brand is here. I can actually show you. I can show you what my top selling brands are right now and this month. I'll do this month. Insights. Top selling brands this month: Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren, Brooks Brothers, Peter Millar, Untuck It. To be honest, I think those are my top selling 5 brands all year. That's something that Nifty gives me that I can just go and look. So Ralph Lauren is number 1. The other, and they're all bread and butter brands, by the way. I sell mostly bread and butter brands. That's what moves the best. I think that's what fits in most people's budgets. So that's why I'm able to move more of those. But yeah, what's up, Amy? Yeah, Mom Havoc, we're back. We're back on the side account. So if you're not following this one, give a follow. Because I know this looks the same. It says K-Way up top, but it's K-Way's live, not K-Way shop. So make sure you give this one a follow. This is the account I go live on. How to photo? Do you photograph on a certain day and list on another? Are you a solar seller, or do you have help with all your listings? So it's my wife and I as a team. Both of us do this full time. So she does a lot of the photos in the morning, and then I'll list later on. And then if I have time, I'll do some photos later on too. If you want to learn how we photo, Lisa, go to my YouTube channel. Just go to K-Way Shop, or you can scroll on Facebook. I just put out a video exactly how I list from start to finish. So watch that video. It'll give you all your answers you're looking for. So you be the same at Poshmark, that you are better at posting a little every day. Yes, consistency definitely does help. Consistency brings people back to your store. If somebody's browsing and they see that you just posted something, you have more of a chance of them buying that and then going in and buying more stuff. So the more eyes you can frequently get on your store, the better. Just like if you did had a retail store and you did sales like every single day. That's why restaurants do some kind of sale mostly every single day. It's to get people coming back to the restaurant. Same kind of concept. I have 104 items listed on my eBay. I've only sold one thing in the last 2 weeks. Any suggestions? If you have 104 items and if you only sold one item in the last 2 weeks, that means the items that you have listed, nobody is looking for. It doesn't matter how much research you do product-wise, like how much to price the item at, how to take photos, all that stuff. It doesn't matter if the stuff you're picking up, nobody is currently looking for. And the way you can search for that is grab one of your items that's been sitting for a while, look it up. Then look up how many are listed on eBay and how many are sold on eBay. If you see that there's 100 listed and only 1 sold, that means that item is going to sit in your store forever, and you need to focus on picking up better brands. That's my suggestion. Most likely the stuff that you have listed is nobody's looking for it. So when Surfs gets back from vacation too, I'm going to talk to him about doing some store reviews, and I'd love to have somebody like you, Savannah, come in with that same question, and then we'll be able to review your store and see exactly what your issue is firsthand. But I got to wait for Surfs to get back from playing around with Mickey Mouse. I might go play around with Mickey Mouse with him tomorrow. I think that's the plan. I got to hit him up later today. You following Surfs? What's that? Even the same Lulu shirts? I know. I want to be just like Surfs when I grow up. Yeah, I've had this shirt for a while, but yeah, I'm following Surfs. What is Nifty? Nifty is a cross listing, sharing, send offers, delist, relist, keeps track of your inventory, all that stuff. Analytics. I have a link in the tree. If you go to the tree, find the link. You get 15% off your first month, and you get a 7-day free trial. So you might as well just go check it out for free. It's linked in my bio. Go check it out. What are the plans with Surfs? My plans with Surfs are, I don't know yet. I have to hit them up today. Yesterday was a heck of a day, and I wasn't even thinking about that. I got to figure it out. Today, actually, I have a Whatnot show, and I have to rack tomorrow's Whatnot show, so that way we can actually go hang out for a decent amount of time tomorrow and then make our way back, and then we'll have a Whatnot show. So how's Dad doing? Dad's doing good. He's on a vacation right now. He's having some skin cancer issues, so he's getting that taken care of. But he's on vacation with his girlfriend right now, so I think they're in Pittsburgh right now, I want to say. They're just exploring the world together. For people just starting out on eBay part-time, what's your suggestion? How many times days within the week to list on platforms? I would say just list consistently every single day. Try to list a couple items every day. You don't have to do 15. If you can only do 1 or 2 items a day, just list those. You can actually, if you work like a full-time job and you have like a Wednesday off, like Wednesday should be the day that you try to go source and then photo and list as many items, get them drafted so that way you can put them live whenever you're busy with your normal 9 to 5 life. So if you get 10 items drafted and then, you list another, I don't know, 3 to 5 items that week, you can put out about 2 to 3 listings per day, and you already have all the work done ahead of time, so you don't have to worry about it. If you have like a hard day at work, you come home and you're like, hey, I don't feel like listing today. At least I have 3 drafts ready to go, and you can put those live. So Surf's coming to visit. He's not coming here. I got to go to Disney. I told him he should, but I just subscribed to your YouTube page. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Wherever you're following, make sure you're following. Also, it's changed season. Some items might not sell right now. Yes, right now it's hard because you can't really tell what's going to sell. It's like in the afternoon it's hot, in the morning it's cold, so people are buying sweaters and they're also buying short sleeves. And some people aren't buying anything right now because they're just waiting for that cold snap to hit, so then they can start buying long sleeves. So yeah, it's a hard season. But as soon as that first cold snap happens, trust me, sales are going to spike. You're going to get a bunch of your jackets and sweaters sold. That's actually what we're listing right now, is a bunch of jackets and sweaters. So Surfs is cool. I follow him. I wouldn't say he's cool. I'm just kidding. Surfs is cool. We love Surfs over here. What's the best time of day to post a list? There's no best time. I would say, earlier you can get your stuff posted, the better, because it's going to sit online for more of the day. But to be honest, I've listed stuff at 12 o'clock at night, and I've listed stuff at like 8 a.m. in the morning. I don't think there is like a true best time. I don't think like 10:15 is the best time. Just get your stuff listed whenever you can. Glad to see you back. What's up, Court? Appreciate you hopping in. All right, let's ship out another order. That was lots of questions. Appreciate all the questions. Keep them coming. If you have anything you want to ask, drop it in the chat. I will get it answered while we are on live. Next up, this is a simple Ralph Lauren. This is a long sleeve, just a simple plaid to this one. I only paid $4.28 for this at a thrift store. Nifty sent out a 10% out offer. This person accepted for $20.70. Bread and butter, Ralph Lauren. This is why my top selling brand, because I sell them for right around that price, 20 to 25 bucks. That's what the people like. They like those deals. Is there demand for vintage Corning rare or fine china? I don't sell any of that stuff. Maybe somebody in the chat can reply to that. I don't do much hard goods at all. So I'm sure there is. I mean, probably depends on the brand, the styles, whether they're rare. I think I've heard of that stuff before, people selling that stuff. But to be honest, I'm not the right person to ask, because I only sell the stuff you see behind me, a bunch of clothing. So I'm getting really lucky with pants recently. Not sure if other resellers are being lazy. I think it's actually that. That's exactly, Tommy, what you just said is why I love searching for pants at the thrift store. I think a lot of resellers, they like shirts because the tags are right there. They can see the tag. They can see what brand it is. It's not hard to search for the item at the thrift. And with pants and jeans and shorts, sometimes you got to actually go into the actual pant, or you have to know what the pants look like Lululemon, right? Lululemon pants have a few distinct key features that when you see them, you don't see the tag in the back, but you see the distinct features and you're like, oh, that's a pair of Lululemon men's pants. Let me flip it over and find the tag and find the little, the little hang tag that says Lululemon. And that's why pants and jeans sell better, because I think less people pick them up because less people search for them. So if you're an expert, one section of the store that I would actually become an expert in really quickly is pants and jeans, just for that reason. And they sell very, very, very well. Just think when you're wearing pants, like when you're eating dinner and you're at a fine dining restaurant, eating dinner, you put the napkin on your shirt, but you don't put it on your pants. And when you're eating, you dribble some stuff on your pants. Now you need a new pair of pants. That's why a lot of people buy those. And then, people aren't looking for them in the thrift store. So it definitely helps if you know how to look for pants. Does Nifty have a delist relist limit? You can set the limit. The limit can be set by you. I think there's like a max limit of like 10,000 or something per day. You're not going to need to do that. But you set the limit, whatever you want. They'll delist, relist. I have jackets listed. I hope they sell. I have Carhartt, Lands' End, and some Kids North Face. They should sell. You're the one. I feel like I have good brands. Maybe you're pricing too high, because if you have North Face, Carhartt, and Lands' End, I don't really pick up hardly any Lands' End, but Carhartt and North Face kids jackets, just don't price them too high. If you price them over the market, they're not going to sell. And also, again, we're in that middle season where it's like people aren't really picking up jackets right now yet, but they will in the next couple weeks. So where do you get your shipping bags for shipping? Wealth, if you go to my tree, if you go to my main page and find the tree, I can't say the other word for it because I'm on TikTok and they don't like me saying the two words together. But go find the tree and go to the products we use on a daily basis section. You can find it there. Also, if you're watching on TikTok, I have a TikTok showcase. Go to the showcase and everything's linked there in the showcase too. What's your bread and butter sell-through rate? Like bread and butter sell-through rate? I don't know. I'd have to look up. Like bread and butter sell-through rate is a very, very wide, broad question because there's a lot of brands that I hold that are bread and butter, right? So each brand has a different sell-through rate. All the brands aren't going to have the same sell-through rate for bread and butter. But let's go to Q3 of 2025. So currently right now in my eBay store, I have 1,600. Let me see exact the number because this will kind of help you. This will kind of help you with your answer. Not all of this is bread and butter, obviously. But I currently have 1,621 items listed in my eBay store. Last quarter, I sold 968 total items. That's across all platforms, but 968. That's why I cross-list because I get sales from everywhere. So my sell-through rate total on my store is over 50%, right? Yeah, it'd be over 50%. It would be like 60 something percent every 90 days is what I sell. So bread and butter is a big portion of those numbers. So I hope that helps answer your question. I know it's not a perfect answer, but it kind of gives you a gist. So are you increasing your SH because of the holidays? Shipping and handling? No, I don't increase my shipping and handling is always 1 day. 1 day shipping, 1 business day. So if I sell something on Friday, I don't have to ship it till Monday. Happy Friday. I missed your live the other day. Well, here we are. I didn't do a live yesterday because of all the fiasco, but I'm here. Do you do international shipping? The only international shipping I do is eBay International Shipping Program. That's where I ship it to eBay's one of their international shipping hubs, and then they ship it overseas for me. And the reason I do that is because I'm highly protected with that program. If I ship it to the hub and it makes it to the hub, and then from there, from the hub overseas, it gets lost in transit or the item gets destroyed in shipping, eBay covers me and covers the buyers. That's why I use the international shipping program. I think it's what it's currently called. It used to be global shipping program, and now I think it's the international shipping program. I could be wrong about that. I'm new. What about men's blazers and suits? I just shipped one out. I do ship out blazers and suits. I don't pick up too many. I'm still trying to kind of learn what fast selling brands I can pick up or bread and butter brands and suits and blazers because a lot of times I pick up ones that are bread and butter but they sit for a little too long. So yeah, that's my answer to that. But I do sell suits and blazers. So what is your 90-day total on just eBay alone? 90-day total on eBay alone. I'm on my phone. Hold on. I usually would just look at my phone for this, but 90-day total on eBay is, does it say on here? $27,141.70. That's just eBay. I don't just sell on eBay though. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, Whatnot. I think Whatnot this year, we're closing in on, hang on. I don't want to put out a number and then be completely wrong about the number. I don't have this spreadsheet filled out either. I think we're closing in on 215 to 220,000 in sales on Whatnot this year. So we don't focus all of our energy on eBay. I think if I focused all my energy on eBay, that number would be a lot higher. But I have my focus on many different platforms all at once. We're actually doing a Whatnot show tonight, so make sure you come out. It's a kids Whatnot show. So Kiwi does TikTok again. That's right. What's up, JT? JT's in the house. I mean, when you're picking items up at Goodwill, what's the sell-through rate you're looking for? So with bread and butter sell-through rate's going to be atrociously small. Like if you look up Ralph Lauren basic button-down shirts, if you look up sell-through rate, I think it's like probably like 20%, 15 to 20%. But the way I list them and the price I list them at, and the fact that I can consistently get them and consistently list them brings in returning customers. They sell faster for me. So like Ralph Lauren again, button-down shirts, Ralph Lauren, go look at their sell-through rate and then go to my eBay store and look at that and see how many I've sold over the last 90 days. I can actually tell you in the last 90 days, I've had, and this is just going to be orders. It's not going to be total because some of the orders I have multiple items in, but just Ralph Lauren pieces in the last 90 days, I've sold 229 orders worth of Ralph Lauren shirts. So I don't know what that number is per day, but that's 9, 18. That's like 2.5 shirts per day is what I sell. Just Ralph Lauren. So can't really look at sell-through rate and say like, oh, I'm just going to pick up an item off sell-through rate. Because if you know key details about an item, it's going to alter the sell-through rate. And if you price them aggressively to sell, they're going to sell. Even if sell-through rate's atrocious. So it doesn't. if this doesn't work out, you could always work for USPS. I could. They already want me back. I talked to a local office, and they're like, if you ever want a job, just let us know. I was like, I'm good. Do you have any videos on jeans? I do have a Bolo video on jeans. Tommy, it's on YouTube, so go check it out. I have I think one Bolo video on jeans. Do you offer free shipping? The only time I offer free shipping is if somebody buys 2 or more items in my store. So everybody has to purchase on eBay. They have to purchase every item plus shipping if they buy an individual item. But as long as they buy 2 or more, they get free shipping, which encourages them to bundle. And that's why I've had so many bundle sales. I've had more bundle sales since I've started that than I've ever had before on eBay. Typically a year, I probably have like 3 to 5 bundle sales of people buying multiple items. And I've had more in the last month than I've had in like the last like 3 years. So yeah, do that sale and you'll get more traction. So what's your net profit on those 90 days? That I'd have to go in my spreadsheet and look. Yeah, I'd have to go in and look exactly what my profit per unit is and all that stuff. If I look at Nifty right now, but I haven't put in all the details, it says average profit per order is $25.50, but I don't agree with that because I haven't put in my cost of goods down on that line. My average cost of goods is somewhere around $5 to $7. So let's take it high end $7. So take that average profit per unit down to about $18.50, and that's what I would typically make on each one of my sales. But again, haven't filled out Nifty, so that's not going to be super accurate. What brand of pants are Bolos? There's tons. Vuori, I love picking up basic like ABC, Lululemon pants. Filson is great. If you find Arc'teryx pants are great. There's tons of great pants brands. If you want to learn what pants sell the best, just go on eBay, type in men's pants, filter for pre-owned, filter for sold, and then filter for like a certain price you're looking for. So if it's like $50, filter for $50, and then just scroll through and look at exactly what you see. You're going to see multiple items that look the same, or multiple brands that are on there that are the same, and that would now be a Bolo for you, and then you can do further research in that brand. That's exactly how I make my Bolo videos. For Ralph Lauren number shirts versus small, medium, large, what's your smallest size you would get? I try not to pick up small sizes like extra small and smalls because they typically sit unless I can get them for a good price. Typically medium and larger is what I usually look for in Ralph Lauren. Also, be very, very careful when you pick up like a medium slim fit because that's a hard size to move. So I'm around 15 per piece, super low. I don't know. I have around 250 listings, sold 53 in 90 days. 250 and 53 in 90 days. That's horrible. Just go to my store, House of Investing. My store is always linked. Go check it out. Filter for sold on my store. You can see everything I've sold in the last 90 days. It'll kind of give you a gist of exactly what I'm moving. I love Purple Label Ralph Lauren. I picked up a vintage Union Ralph Lauren dress for $1.50 and sold it for $5.60. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. $1.50 to $5.60. That's margins right there. That's like paying nothing. Just getting $500 for nothing. That's crazy. Good job. This is my first holiday season. What do you suggest the best selling categories in men? Jacket, well, winter time, it's going to be jackets, pants, jeans, long sleeve, anything. Those are what's going to sell faster. If you're picking up a lot of Hawaiian shirts and things like that, those are the items that are going to sit in your store forever. So, Ralph Lauren is your highest sell-through, highest sell-through item in my store. Yes, I sell a ton of Ralph Lauren. Every single month, I sell a ton of Ralph Lauren. Again, my store is always linked. You can always look at that. I also sell a ton of Ralph Lauren on Whatnot too. I don't even include Whatnot into those numbers. If I include Whatnot into those numbers, Ralph Lauren blows any brand away by like 10x. It's like crazy. Ralph Lauren's just good. Shout out to Surfs for teaching me about Ralph Lauren. I also picked up some really nice shoes at the thrift and they aren't selling right now either. Maybe I need to lower the price on them. I think, Savannah, instead of lowering the price, you should, but you should also focus on looking those items up pre-picking them up. So if you pick up a pair of shoes and you look up the model, shoes are super easy. You look up the model and you can even look up the size because the size is going to give you different sell-throughs too. But look up the model first. Women's Hoka Bondi 7s or whatever you're picking up. Look at how many are listed versus how many are sold before you buy that item. No matter what the sold data says of how many, like what they're selling for, if there's 100 listed and only 5 sold, what are the chances that one of your listing is going to be one of those 5 in the next 90 days? Very, 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 very small. So that's why you need to look those up, especially shoes. So what about a new Vero? I heard Chico's is one. What are your thoughts? There's a lot of brands on the Vero list. I think North Face and Patagonia are on the Vero list. But you can still list those. There's just a higher chance of that brand pulling your listing down. I think Nike's even on there. People sell a ton of Nikes on eBay. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to that list. There are a few brands that you can't list because they will immediately pull your item. Like one is, it's like a workout disc. I forget the name of it. It's like P90X, I think, is one that you can't list. I don't know if that's even a thing anymore, but if you list that, it'll immediately get taken down. So I see a bunch of questions still. Let me ship another item really quick, and then we'll get a bunch of questions knocked out. I appreciate all the questions. You guys are coming through today because I really didn't have much to ship today. So after shipping pretty much all day yesterday, this right here is a shirt that I was considering putting on Whatnot, but because the last few Robert Grahams that we put on there kind of went lower than I thought they were going to go, I decided to put my own Robert Graham on eBay. This is a embroidered, so all of this is embroidered. It's a men's size large. Guess what this sold for? Just take a wild guess what this sold for. Because if I would have ran this on Whatnot, I think this would have sold for $17 to $20. So what do you guys think it sold for? Embroidered, solid black Robert Graham. It's embroidered all the way down. It also has embroidery on the chest. I'll show you guys the photos of it too, so you guys get a better view of it. What do you guys think this sold for on eBay? That's the embroidery. So you see the embroidery going all the way down, fully embroidered on the front. There's no embroidery on the back. It does have a flip cuff. That's the inside tag. That's kind of what the flip cuff shows. So I want to know, what do you guys think that this sold for? Thanks, man. You're too nice. Appreciate you, House. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate all the questions too. I know you know your stuff just based off the questions you're asking, and that's why I like to be able to give you direct answers. I know some of the questions I could give you like an exact answer on, but I like to try to give you as direct answers as I possibly can. How do you set up bundle for free shipping on eBay? It's a promotion. You set up a promotion on eBay. $125, $24.99 in your eBay store. 70, 50, 80, 60, 64, 55, 35. Some of you guys are pretty close. I'm actually surprised how close you guys are. This sold for $63. That was actually a 10% off because they bought an item $50 or more. That's another promotion I do. So they paid $63 for this shirt. If I would have ran this on Whatnot, I guarantee this wouldn't have won over 25 bucks. So there's certain brands, this used to do really well on Whatnot for me, and now Robert Graham has kind of taken a hit on Whatnot, but it still sells really well on eBay, especially if you can get ones that are embroidered, like I tell you guys all the time on Whatnot. When I run a solid black or a solid white shirt that has designs through it, I try to tell you guys, like, this is a good shirt. These are going to sell well on the other platforms. Take that as you will, and then most of the time those shirts go for like 17 to 20 bucks, and that person probably sells them for 60 to 70. Solid white, solid blacks, especially with embroidery, good money, like really, really good money. And this one was listed, let me see if I can see how long this was listed for. I think it was listed for less than a week. So do you always do immediate payment required on eBay? I do have that setting set on eBay, so that way people have to pay immediately when they accept an offer. Offers are different, but when they just buy something outright, it's immediate payment. I'm going to check this really quick. Let me ship this out. $6.37. $6.37. I like your poly bags. I really get cheap ones, and mine tear easily. Go to my tree. If you go to my pin post actually on Facebook, that's where the tree is, Leisha. Go to that pin post and go to the products we use on a daily basis section, and that's where you'll find that. See, I can't, as soon as I talk about it, I get a violation warning on TikTok. But yes, go to that area, and that's where you find the exact bags that I use. Let me see, analytics. How long was this listed? Robert Graham shirt. That shirt was listed for 6 days, 6 total days, and it sold. So quick sale. I like quick sales. How should it sold for 63 bucks? It's pre-owned, by the way, too. Pre-owned, by the way. I just learned that the commonly found brand from 20 years is a big bowler right now. Miss 60 Jeans. Definitely Y2K. I've never heard of that brand. Never ever heard of it. Yep, check the tree. Check the tree. I finally got a reply back from USPS about the Poshmark ground supplies, waiting for the load. I have to still call. I called once and I couldn't get through. I got to call again, or maybe I'll just email them. Sell a lot of Chicos, but I don't use stock photos. There you go. I don't use any stock photos either. I never, ever, ever use stock photos. If you look at my entire store, you'll not find one stock photo unless it's an eBay listing for like a pair of Nikes that's going through authenticity guarantee, and they make me put a stock photo on there. But otherwise, you don't. What's the major difference between Vendoo and Nifty? That's a good question. Vendoo has more platforms that you can cross list to. So Vendoo currently has Whatnot, and that's why you find it linked. with my discount code because I only use it for Whatnot, even though I haven't used it for Whatnot in a while. Key difference, the key reason I went with Nifty over Vendu, because Vendu has hit me up multiple times trying to get me to promote them. And I said, the only way I will is if I just promote Whatnot. I'm not going to promote everything else about Vendu. And the main reason is Vendu, you have to have either your computer or your phone running for it to actually do its duties through the day. So like the sharing, all that stuff has to be done with a device running. Nifty, don't have to have a device running. I set it and I forget it. Never have to think about it again. The D list, like so when you sell something on Vendu, if you don't have your phone on the app running or you don't have your computer on, from what I understand, that item does not get delisted. I've heard that from many people from Vendu. One of the key reasons why people switch over is because like they sell something on eBay and then an hour later they sell it on Poshmark because it's a fast selling item and they're like, wait, Vendu was supposed to delist this item. I don't have that issue with Nifty because Nifty pulls it down. It's within, I think, 5 minutes of you selling an item, cycles through your store every 5 minutes. It pulls down all the solds for you. Usually it's very, very fast. So that's a key difference. That's why I went with that. Also, there's a lot of add-ons with Vendu and Nifty. It's all in one package. You don't have to worry about like what add-on do I need to add on to this plan. You have your sales analytics, just like Vendu has. You have your Vendu just got a Posh Share tool, I think, within the last couple months. Nifty has had it for a very, very long time. The AI tool, I think, works better on Nifty than it does on Vendu. And yeah, Vendu just has an edge with the platforms because Vendu has more platforms, just like List Perfectly has more platforms. So that's my answer to that. I found vintage K-Way jacket yesterday. The K-Way, the K, it says K and then W-A-Y. I see those all the time. Ralph Lauren number sizes I don't really pick up too often. I pick up bigger number sizes, but the rest I kind of leave behind. Do you accept returns? I do accept returns. Some items I have buyer pays return shipping. Other items I have free returns. Just depends on the weight of the item. If it's over a pound, typically I have buyer pays return shipping. So like pants, jeans, jackets, buyer pays return shipping. Everything under a pound is usually free returns, not free shipping. Lady on the phone said, "Don't email, no employees answer." Yeah, oh, that sounds like the post office right there. Spartan industrial bags. Yep, those are the ones I use. They're always linked. So go check out the link. You go check out the tree. Probably gonna get another warning over here. For the USPS buys, I just went to the email and resent it daily until I got an auto response. It took 5 days. Yeah, I'm gonna try to call in. I think eventually you'll be able to get right in with the call, but for right now you kind of can't. I only stock photos when I use for women's swim. I have to go with those items. Yeah, I can see why you do that. And I would say that's probably a smart thing to do with the women's swimwear because it's hard to show unless you have like a model of how it looks. Because if you just lay it flat, it's not going to look. Just be very careful when you use stock photos because your listings can get pulled down if the brand reports it because they do pay for those photos. So the brand has rights to pull those listings down. So just be careful, but I don't hear a lot of people getting their listings pulled down, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. This was listed just yesterday, and it already sold full price. This is a men's Rain Spooner shirt. Love this brand, love selling this brand. I actually probably listed this too low, but I wanted this to sell fast because we're going out of the Hawaiian shirt season. And this is just a basic cotton Rain Spooner with a good print on it. Sold for $29.99 plus shipping. Again, I just literally listed this yesterday afternoon, so... size-wise, just large. Size-wise, just large. For what? Barbara had Poshmark pool in my listings today. Yeah, you got to be very careful. Just take your own photos, and you never have to worry about that. I've never had one of my listings pulled because I use stock photos because I never, ever use stock photos. But I can see for something like swim, it's kind of hard to show. For clothes, like larger sizes sell better for sure. I do pick up some items in size like small. Like if I find a Burberry long sleeve flip cuff Novacek shirt in a size small, you better believe I'm gonna pick that up. So just depends on the brand, depends on what I'm picking up. If it's like bread and butter, I typically don't pick that kind of stuff up. What if a buyer on Whatnot paid a few dollars over on shipping? Does Whatnot adjust and credit the buyer back? No, does not adjust and credit the buyer back. You're already getting a killer deal on Whatnot. At 5 pounds, you're getting shipped to your door for $9 priority. Go on any platform and even go to Pirate Ship right now and just type in a 12 by 12 by 8 box shipping from Florida to California and see what it charges. It's probably like 20 something bucks. So even if it goes a little over because the seller overestimated on shipping, that's actually what we should do, because if we don't overestimate, we have to go and redo all of our labels. And if we redo all of our labels, we only get 5 credits every single time we ship. And if we go over those 5 credits, we actually have to pay for a brand new label. Even if it's like $1 difference, we have to pay the $9 for a new label. So that's why sellers overestimate. But no, even if you have to pay, if you buy 8 items on Whatnot and you have to pay an extra dollar something for shipping to ship those 8 items, you're still getting a fantastic deal on shipping priority. Ground Advantage would even be less than that. So I know people like gripe about Whatnot shipping. If you buy more than 1 item on Whatnot in a show and you're paying $9 something cents, you're getting a good deal on shipping. Like really good. Just look at what the average rates are. Heating up the hot tub for you? Ooh la la. Yes, Valvindu, I have to go make sure it's delisted. Yep. If it's not currently, you don't have an app. Typically, most people have the app running, and that's why it delists. But if you don't have the app running in the background or a computer running, you have to go. As soon as you turn it on, it'll do it. But if you don't turn it on for a day and you made 15 sales, you might double sell. That's a risk with Vendu. Heard fastest is to call the post office early in the morning, like the first 2 hours, 5 to 7, after 7 p.m. Yeah, yeah, yep. I wish there was another number you could call. So what's up, Trisha? I have a bunch of size zeros. Size zeros are super hard to sell. Personally, I like to model. Surfs might be interested in some of your listings, Nick. Nick, if you send them the surfs, see, I knew it. I didn't even read his comment, and I knew that's where his head would be. Like, Nick, send it. You might get some extra sales out of surfs. Or you might get lots of watchers on your item, which would be really bad for your store to just get lots of watchers and no sales. So take it how you will, but you might get some extra sales. Just test the waters with him and just show him a couple of your listings. I got a $600 double RL yesterday. If you were going to list, what would you list it for? If it's a $600, if you did your research and it's $600, I would list it for $600. That's what I would do. It's a good item right there. I wonder if is that the plumbers? There's somebody parked in my back driveway right now. Please don't tell me it's the plumbers. I'll have to cut this live short. These guys are supposed to call literally before they come, and they never do. I think that is the plumbers. It's either the plumbers or that's an inspector, and the inspector doesn't need me. Oh my god. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Just fill this hole in and get this whole thing over with. I sent you on Mercari Surfs. There you go. Yeah, don't send the eBay store. Don't send the eBay store. I know, I'm so over this. I just want this hole filled, and don't go to the dirty place, Surfs. I know what you're thinking right now too. Anyways, unless that's somebody dropping off something, but they wouldn't be in the back to drop something off. Unless that's one of you, you're gonna knock on my back gate. Anyways, so do you ever change the measurements of weight before printing a label? I do. A lot of times on eBay, I just do a basic weight, and then if it's like, if I sell 2 or more items, I have to put them into like a different package, then yes, I will do different measurements, and I'll order a bigger label for those. So yes, that's the Mercari way. Yeah. I bought it from you on Whatnot. Oh, you bought the $600 one on Whatnot. Oh, Danny, that's you. I didn't look at the name. My bad. What would I list that for? Do some research on it, Danny. I think you should easily be able to get $1,000 or more for that piece. That's a very, very rare double RL piece. It's $1,600 retail. I would list that for over 1,000. Do a little bit of research on it. List it high because that's a collectible. That's a very, very collectible piece. So I'm here to fill the hole. Definitely somebody parked in the back. And now she's barking. I think that's the inspector, which is good. That means they're going to be done very, very fast. I don't think they need me because I've already paid for all. They just have to literally... Okay, chat. Just hang out for 1 minute. I'm going to go see exactly who this is, and I'll be right back. I don't know who this is. Oh, gosh. Did you guys play nice while I was gone? Yeah. That was the plumber. He's telling me he got the permit and he need my ID for the permit, so that's what he was here for. But he didn't call before he came. They're all supposed to call before they come. Literally, the company says, before we show up, we'll give you a call 15 minutes before we get there. Never have got a call once. Anyways, back, back again. This is your time to shine. Yeah, Kiwi's gone. He left too. He left too. He's in a hot tub right now. So, okay, let's get back to it. Do you have a list of everything I need to buy to start my online clothing business, and where should I get everything? So I would start small. Somebody asked me this yesterday, and they said, "Do I need to buy the photo box when I first start, or what can I do when I first start to mitigate some costs, right? Because you don't want to spend $200 on a photo box if you're just starting, because you don't know how long you're going to do this for, if you're actually going to like it. So what I would suggest is take photos literally on the ground. Get a well lit room. This ground would work perfect. It's like a nice like background image, like good color for your background on the ground. I know people who take photos in storage lockers, right? The ground looks similar to this. Just needs to be well lit. If you have a room in your house that you have like a nice carpeting and you get lots of nice natural light in from a window, use that. Or if you have like good lighting in like your kitchen, that's where Surfs takes all of his photos, as a kitchen. Do that before you start buying stuff. All you really need to get started is packaging materials, and now you can get free Ground Advantage supplies from, if you have a Poshmark account, so that will mitigate a lot of costs right there. You need something to weigh your items, so like a little tabletop scale, and you need a printer or a thermal printer to print your labels, and that's it. Everything else can be done from your phone. You don't even need a computer. You can do everything else from your phone. You don't even really need a printer if you want to just go to the post office every day and get the QR code, and they can scan it and then print your label out for you. You can do it that way too, so you can like not have a printer if you want to. But that's what you need. You need something to weigh your items for sure. That for sure. Everything else can be slowly bought over time. I think that's like the most necessary thing. Everybody right now has phones. I think everybody has smartphones, so nobody's going to need one of those. But yeah, that's my answer to that. So peace out, Trisha. But I have everything linked. If you go to my pin post, if you need any of those supplies, they're all linked in my pin post, Jody. So go to my pin post, go to the products we use on a daily basis section. Yep, that's where you go right there. Beth has it. Wherever you're watching, it's always linked there. If you're watching on TikTok Shop, it's in the showcase. I got a bunch of stuff linked there. Having a plumber at your home is against TikTok terms of service. Crap, I'm banned. I'm banned. God, everything's against TikTok terms of service. Anyways. Polo Ralph Lauren, another Ralph Lauren shirt sold. This one sold for $24.99 plus ship. Good sale right there. Full price sale. I do list these a little bit higher, especially the pink and blue colors. I found what colors sell like the best. It's always like brighter colors, and those are the ones I typically list for a little bit more. Are your sales slow for you as mine? Mine are awful. Mine are consistent. Consistent with what I'm listing per day. I'm selling about 10 items per day, and I'm listing about 10 items per day. So I don't think it's slow. I think it's average. If I list 20 items per day, I think I'd have better sales. But right now we're doing like what I just did. I had to go talk to a plumber middle of the day. At least that's done. Unfortunately, they're not going to fill the hole they dug until Monday. So I got to go through this whole weekend with all exposed pipe on the side of my house. I wish they would just come and fill the hole they dug today, but they got to wait for the inspector, and he's coming out on Monday or Tuesday, they said. So I still use Ground, and I have sold 15,000 plus items. Great photos are super important, but knowing what to buy and what costs is more important. Videos like these are important to binge too. Yep, I agree. Just like the person we talked to earlier, I think the issue was they weren't picking up the right stuff at the right prices, and that's why they're not having as good sales. But yeah, when Surfs comes back, we'll do a live together. We'll do some store reviews, and that'll kind of help you guys out too, because you'll get both sides, and you'll learn from both of us about like what we're thinking when we look through your store. I have a woman's wool coat that weighs 5 pounds without packing, box, etc. Is Ground Advantage still the best way to ship that? Yes, it would be. Ground Advantage or UPS. If you do UPS and FedEx, you'll probably get a better rate with UPS. But I typically use Ground Advantage because I like putting my boxes outside the front door and letting the post office take them, and me not having to drive. Like yesterday, I shipped this package out. This is a Mercari sale. Yeah, Mercari sale. It's UPS Ground Saver, so I have to actually go drive this. And as you can see, it's been sitting on my desk since yesterday because I hate driving to the post office. I'll actually pay a little bit more for convenience of being able to just set it outside and let the postman pick it up. If you have one-day shipping, items that sell on Saturday. Hold on, I gotta do a little puzzle over here. If you have one-day shipping, items that sell on Saturday can wait till Tuesday to send. You ship on Monday. Monday. One-day handling would be a Monday shipment. Next up, we have 2 packages going out. Boom, boom, boom. That would just be like if an item sold on Tuesday, you have to ship it the next day. So you ship it next business day is what it is. You don't get like an extra business day. That would be 2-day handling. So that's why that answers that. If you sell it on Friday, because Saturday is not a business day and Sunday is not a business day, Monday would be the day they ship. But if you sold it on Tuesday, that doesn't mean you don't get to wait a full business day before you ship. It's the next business day. One-day handling is the next day. Both of these, boom, boom. Polo Ralph Lauren sweater and polo sold in a bundle. This user got free shipping because they bought 2 or more items. I gotta find some poly bags. They bought 2 or more items, so they got free shipping. And yeah, they got a good deal, and I was able to move 2 items. And that sweater I had just listed the day before, so it sold within 1 day, which is great. I always love when that happens. And these both should fit into one of these poly bags. By the way, I need to buy some more poly bags today because I'm running low. Post office never picks up my packages off the front porch. How do I follow up a complaint with corporate? You dial the 1-800 number online, and they will have you create a ticket. Then you will talk. They will call you back, and you will talk to one of the, I don't know what they call their name of their profession, but you talk to one of the escalation team basically, and they will file a complaint with the post office, and they take those complaints very seriously. So once you get one of those in, you basically will get your problem fixed, or they'll explain to you why they're not picking up your packages. Usually it's because they're lazy, and then the carrier will get reprimanded, and then from there on out, you should get your packages picked up. If you don't, you call back and you do the same exact process. And every time you do that, it gets sent up a level, and eventually somebody very, very high will get that message about how you're not getting your packages picked up. And the post office takes that very seriously because they are looking for more packages and less mail. They like doing the whole package thing because they make more money with packages. So if you have a ton of packages to pick up and they're not doing their job, post office takes that seriously. So made it to the end of Darb Meetings. What's up, HC? Welcome in. We're still going strong. We've been live for, I think, like over an hour, and I only had 7 orders to pack up today. Yeah, an hour and 3 minutes. So we're going strong today. Is the post office open on Columbus Day on Monday? I don't think they are, no. Are they open on Monday, chat? I should probably know this. I used to work at the post office. I don't think they are. Is this a long weekend for the post office? That's good, because that gives me an extra day to ship this weekend's orders, if that's the case. I just sold something, by the way. I sold an Orvis 6646. This one's going to fall out. 6646 Orvis. This is a hemp blend Orvis, size large, just a basic Orvis shirt. People say that these don't sell. I used to say these don't sell. Shout out Trisha. These sell. I just sold this one for $22.99 plus ship. Thanks. I'll call today and file a complaint. Yep, do it. It doesn't take too long, and then they'll give you a call back. And usually the manager of the location will call you back too and ask you a bunch of questions, and then get that carrier in trouble because that carrier is a lazy carrier. That's basically what it is. Probably is that carrier is lazy, or you're not filling out like a package pickup request, and that would be your fault, not the post office's fault. So do that too. Do you know if USPS will come and pick up the 1,000 priority boxes that I have that would just be sitting now? They won't pick them up. No, most likely they're not going to do that. They're not going to come and grab all those from you because that's just like an extra expense for them. But you can take them back slowly to the post office, and they'll take them back. You just load them up in your car and take them back. Load up a couple boxes. If you're ever driving past the post office, drop them off. So I don't know, I need to fill out a request. If I leave packages every morning, yeah, you have to fill out a request. There's no way for them to tell that you have packages by your front door if you don't fill out a request to tell them you have packages at the front door. Even if you go tell your mailman, like, hey, I got packages every day, fill out that request, because what happens in the morning is the supervisor prints out a sheet of paper that says there's a package pickup at this house. They give it to the carrier, and the carrier has to scan that barcode at the bottom after they pick it up. Now, if they scan that barcode and they don't pick up any packages, then the carrier gets in trouble because basically they didn't do their job. But yeah, you can fill out package pickup request. I have for the next month, 2 months, Package pickup requests scheduled from Monday to Friday every single day of the week. Post office comes and stops by my front door every day of the week and picks up those packages. Last order going out is a men's Ralph Lauren shirt, of course, men's size 2XL. This sold for $24.99 plus ship. I can tell when my normal carrier isn't working. The subs never pick up. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I actually called. Here's a little tip too. Go down to your local post office and tell them you have packages going out every single day and ask them to create a carrier alert card. That's what it's called. It's called a carrier alert card. Basically what it is, it's a piece of paper that's red, or it could be a different color, but normally it's red, that gets cased into the mail every single morning. They call them flats. So your magazines are called flats. Your letter mail is just called letter mail, or DPS. That's another word for it. But they case in these red alert cards, and they do it every single day. So every day when you get in, first thing you do as a carrier, you're casing all your alert cards, especially if you're new on the route. If you're seasoned on the route, you don't have to do your alert cards because you already know where the alerts are. But for newer carriers, they case these in, and then whenever they come up to an address with one of these alert cards, it says an alert. So it says like dog on premises, pick up packages, be careful of the sidewalk closest to the door because there is a groove and you could trip. It's just a way for them to alert certain things, and one of them could be, hey, there's packages at this house every day to pick up, don't forget them. And that way and they'll have like description by front door, near porch. So go to your office, tell them, can you fill out a carrier alert card for the route that I'm on? Here's my address, because I have packages every day and there's some days that they don't pick them up. That's a way for you to mitigate the risk of you not having somebody pick up your packages. So I mean, he drops all the mail off the front porch and literally leave next to packages. Yeah, that's just a lazy mailman then. That is just a lazy mailman. That's a lazy guy. So he's on his monthly vacation. I think he takes one every other week, Nick. Every other week he's on vacation. I just want to see how to organize shipments this weekend. Plus, I have Whatnot show on Sunday. Yeah, I don't... Clerk said no. Clerk said no, that they're not closed, so I should know that. I just don't remember. There's so many holidays that the post office is closed. So they're not closed. Not closed on Monday, so you got to ship out your stuff. That kind of sucks. I wish I had an extra day to ship, because then I won't have to ship as much on Monday. But that means that after tonight's show, I'll have to ship the entire show tonight to get ready for tomorrow's show. And then we got to go hang out with Surfs all day tomorrow. And then I got to come back and do that show. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a long weekend. But it's okay. We get to hang out with Surfs. So where do you find clothes to resell? We go to thrift stores, retail stores, retail stores. I do bulk buys. I do wholesale deals. I get clothes from lots of places. But when I first started, it was primarily all thrifting. Everything I got was thrifted. I did some retail arbitrage, which is going to retail stores and buying stuff, but typically everything came thrifted. So, oh, I meant no, they're not open. Oh, gotcha. They're not open. So they're not open on Monday. Post office is closed on Monday. Gotcha. I messed that up. I read that wrong. So they are closed on Monday. So good. That means I don't have to ship everything tomorrow or tonight. I can actually hold that stuff and ship it on Sunday, and then ship Saturday show on Monday, and then have everything ready for Tuesday. And then mailman's going to hate me on Tuesday. So I'm going to have a mountain of packages out there. Make sure you bookmark all upcoming Whatnot shows. If you're interested in kids items tonight, that's what we're doing tonight, kids items. So I know a lot of people aren't interested in kids, but if you have kids, we have good stuff, like really good, like high-end brand stuff that make your kids look cool in school. Like Polo Ralph Lauren, we have Psycho Bunny. I think we have some Vuori, kids Vuori pieces. I'm not sure. Lots of stuff on consignment. I got New Attack North Face pieces. I got North Face jackets. I got Patagonia jackets. I got all the good brands. Like, it's not just like Target junk. This is like good stuff. So go bookmark that show if you're interested. It's going to be $5 starts. I don't expect those items to go super high. It's just a way to give out good deals, because we do find a lot of kids stuff pretty cheap around us, and I like selling on Whatnot. I'd rather sell it on Whatnot than list it on the Bay. So, and then Saturday is going to be a big 150 item show again. We're going to have that $1,600 double RL piece in there, because we have another one that's pretty crazy, along with a bunch of other really good stuff. So adult clothing on Saturday, kids clothing tonight. Make sure you bookmark the shows if you haven't signed up. TikTok, I don't care what you say. There's a link in my bio. If you sign up for Whatnot, you get $15 off your first purchase. So make sure you go sign up if you haven't signed up before. Get your $15. And do you promote your listings? General or priority? Do you? I think you meant promote, and I do 9% promotions on eBay. I don't promote anywhere else. So does Nifty fill in fees paid to Marketplace on sales? It does. It does. Let me show you. Let me actually do a import of my data really quick, because I haven't done this in a couple months. But I'm going to import the data really quick, and I'm going to show you what the actual line looks like, profit and all that stuff. Yeah, promote. I do promote 9% across the board on eBay. I don't promote on any other platform. Nifty sales, here you go right here. I just printed out the label. This won't fill out, this line won't fill out for eBay until you actually print the label out. But as you can see, all of these got filled out because I printed them out today. I don't have my cost of goods in here for any of my items because I don't track them this way, except for like this. For some reason, I put it in there. But for example, this line right here gives me my exact profit on this piece because I have my cost of goods in there. So that's how much I made, right? Yeah, shipping collected, shipping, blah, blah, blah. So that's what it looks like right there. You could also fill out these two if you have other expenses you want to do for your items. I don't fill that line out. I keep it blank. So it does all that for you automatically without your computer running. As soon as you make a sale, it fills all that stuff out. All right, chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm going to get some work done today. I got to start setting up the show for tonight and setting up Saturday's show. So that's what I'm going to be working on most of the day.